Alright, first unboxing video. I am happy and excited. Going to be opening a box from Valkyrie Engineering, company located in Indiana. They are a newer company and are making a pretty cool product for the NA/NB Miatas. First off, I was really surprised from a new company how nice their packaging is. Usually, a newer company, you'll just get some plain brown boxes. Pretty sweet stickers. 5-inch. Glossy. They've got their instructions that we're going to do a proofread on, just to be sure that they are all there. But this is a kit, a lightweight lithium battery kit for the NA/NB Miatas that is a bolt-in and has their own billet mounting system. So let's open up this first one. And it is the mount itself. Included the wrench that you need, which is always nice, just in case you don't have it. They actually labeled their hardware, which is really nice. Got some M5s, M6, M10, so proper metric hardware, which is always excellent. And some very nicely machined brass spacers, it looks like. I assume we'll be finding out more about that during the install. Then we've got the bracket itself, which is super light. I'm going to try to open these with my one hand here. So that's the brace, or the bottom mount itself. Very nicely machined, super lightweight. Excellent. And we've got the two, so this I believe is the top plate with Valkyrie Engineering's logo on the top. And this will be the top mount of the battery. You can see the two bolt holes will line up. This will sit on top. And this has the cutout for the battery button, which we'll get to here in just a moment. The last one. Get it. Are some of the side brackets and more. So we'll have to take a look at these in the install. Finally, this one, I assume, is the battery itself. Batteries from Full Spectrum Power. It's LiFePO 4, which is the good stuff. Very small, always good. Gonna definitely need a knife for this. There she is. Couple bolts. And the battery. It's not very heavy, which is delightful. So 720 cranking amps, which for a Miata, even a K swapped like mine, will be plenty. And I'm told that this has everything we need to terminals and everything to be able to basically just hook this straight out into the Miata, which is exciting. So we'll free up some space and weight. And the hope is not sacrifice any reliability or performance at the same time. Valkyrie Engineering. All right, installing the Valkyrie Engineering billet battery mount with the Full Spectrum Power battery that's included into the kit. We already cut off the front ends of both terminal covers, so they're ready to go with the included brass terminals. What's nice about this kit is they labeled all the hardware ready to go, so in the instructions you know exactly which pieces go where, which is delightful. The mount itself is billet aluminum, anodized and machined really nice. It's super lightweight. Got the Valkyrie engineering logo etched on. And a little bit of extras. They included the 7mm hex wrench that will be needed for the M10 bolts. And then we went ahead and pulled an M4 for the M5 bolts and an M5 for the M6 bolts. So if we open up the instructions, it's really nice. Everything's really laid out very clearly. If you've ever done Legos or anything like that, it's really about this simple. So we went ahead and pulled some blue thread locker out. We'll just put a bit of a dab per bolt. And the first one, we're just gonna do a couple M5s on the bottom for each mount. Pockets are bored out, so everything sits nice and flush. Threads are drilled and tapped in, so all you have to do is thread it in. We'll just snug it up. Nothing here needs to be super tight. Just about like that. And the thread locker will help keep it on. And same thing for the back two bolts, which will hold the mounting bracket on. And that's what is actually going to hold the billet mount to the car itself. Got a little enthusiastic with the blue thread locker here. Again, same tapered and drilled pocket holes here. Same drilled and tapped into the bracket itself. Same thing, snug it up, not super tight. It is aluminum and will thread out if you try to tighten it too much. That'll do it for step one. Step two, we're gonna go back to the car. We'll show you around there. We're gonna grab our big M10 bolts with the backing plate that has the drilled and tapped right into it. So these just simply catch this. And they did, once again, give you a really nice pocket so it sits flush. We'll just bolt on. All right, we are back at the back of the car. We've already removed the battery mounting bracket and vent pipe and all that stuff. And what we are going to do is this bracket, which is part of the NANB Miata, we are going to be using the top hole and the third hole down to put our M10 bolts through. We've already gone ahead and put some blue Loctite on our big M10 bolts here. We're just going to go straight through. And here's going to be the tough part, where you've got to hold the backing plate on and get your wrench. Might be able to get this started by hand here. There we go. We'll get the next bolt going. Just like that. Try to get these tightened up a little bit. And we're not going to speed this up for all of you so that you know exactly how much time it does take. Otherwise it seems like we're superhuman, which we are not. So a little bit of limited workroom here, but not too bad. Alright, that one's snugging up nicely. Now these you can tighten down a little bit more. These are going to be the doing the bulk of the work to hold the battery and the mount in place. And they are M10 bolts, but do keep in mind that backing plate is still aluminum. Strong aluminum, but still aluminum. Dropped a little bit of blue thread locker on there. Down to there. Recheck the top one. There we go. It is on there. Alright, back up at the instructions and the workbench. We're going to swap these for you just because it'll be easier for us to do one step here and then go to the car. So we're going to put step 3 on hold. We're going to do step 4, which is attaching the terminals. Now these posts are actually different sizes. One has a smaller diameter, one has a slightly larger diameter. The smaller diameter is going to be the negative. So we're going to install that one on here with the, once again, included M6 bolts. Again, they did a really nice job machining in that little pocket so it sits nice and flush in there. Gotta grab our M6 wrench on top. And these, again, do not need to be super tight. I want to say the torque specs on these is something like 5 or 6 inch 50 or 60 inch pounds. And I totally said that the smaller one goes on the negative, which I did not do. This is the larger one, goes on the positive side. Now once you get to the back, you'll note that the negative is where the positive is and vice versa. So what we did is we took the little plastic hangers off of the cables so that they can move a little bit farther and we'll be able to connect. So that's it for there. Alright, so quick edit. The battery looks a little bit different. What we did is we actually, instead of putting the terminals on the button side, because our battery doesn't have the restart button and programming inside of it, what we did instead was put the terminals on this end. And what that's going to allow us to do is to use the factory wiring and routing of everything. So basically it's going to keep the wires to a little bit more of a factory look. So we're in here. We've got our negative battery, which is typically at the rear of the car, positive at the front, which is why we did the battery like we did. Now, your mileage may vary. If you want to do this, cool. If not, that is totally fine too. So make sure the battery is well down in the plate. We have our 6mm bolts with our top. Now this has a cutout for the button, but since our battery version does not have that restart button, we'll keep it this way because it kind of looks a little bit nicer. And we did pre-do each of these with a little bit of blue Loctite. So we're just going to go around one by one, get them started. Again, this top cap is machined, so everything sits nice and flush, all the hardware. Everything gets started the first time, which is nice. Everything's machined very well. I'm not going to tighten anything down quite yet to all 4 bolts have gotten in. Last one. Again, as we come up to actually tightening these down, these are only 6mm bolts into aluminum, so you don't need to tighten them that much. Especially with the Loctite, you just need to snug them up about that much. Careful not to touch both battery cables at the same time because electricity. Last one. I'll go back around, just double check because that's what we do. And that's the battery installed. Really secure in there. So we're going to go ahead and attach the positive battery cable first. Lower it right on, keep in mind, and this is why the larger terminal needs to go on the positive, because that is where, or that is how large the positive cable is as well. So we're gonna try to loose here, hold on. Really loose. One more. Just like that. Pop the cover back over. Doesn't quite go over all the way on ours because we've got a trailer wiring set up here. And on this side, I get this pre-started here. Make sure it's nice and snug, and that's it. And now you have a fully functioning battery, ready to go to the track or street or wherever you want to go, but it's really nice and secure in there. And this, we've actually had it in there after a full weekend of driving to and at the track, and it's been perfect. Valkyrie Engineering, lightweight lithium battery kits.